average crossover is another strategy that we use. Just like moving average, it's just like you are using your moving average with just a few improvements. Now, moving average is very easy to use. In fact, it's one of the simplest strategy to use. But sometimes the simple ones can be very difficult to master. Not because it is difficult itself, it's just because we make things complicated for ourselves. For example, I don't know if you've heard it before, but they will tell you that you should buy or sell when the moving average crosses. That's your crossover. It is not often the truth, okay? Because strategies are peculiar to market structure, sort of. For example, this is my Euro USD chart. If they've told you that you should either buy or sell, I would like to show you an example. Okay, so around this place there was a crossover, okay, and here they will tell you that you should sell. For example, if you sold, you would realize that market came back up, and then there was another crossover here too. The market went a bit and came back down until it came like this. So if you've been doing it like that and you've been fortunate, it's just that you've been lucky, okay, because moving average crossover is best used for a trending market. It's a strategy for riding the trend or catching the trend. You cannot use it in a ranging market effectively. If you've been using it in a ranging market and you've been making profit, you've been very lucky, very, very lucky. It's best for use in a trending market and not a ranging market. So that's the first rule for using the crossover. You don't use the crossover for a ranging market. You use it for a trending market. Now, this is how the platform looks like if you've been using TradingView. This is not my own charting site, personal analysis site, because I use 3 moving averages. Now, I explained why I use 3. I use 3 because it lets me get a bigger view of the market. For example, I use the 200, 50, and 25. Now, my 200 lets me know the general overview of the market. The 200 moving average is not easily moved. So when it's moving one direction, I know that, okay, I should pay my attention to this. So I can use that one for my swing trading and position trading. If I use the 50 and 20 for the short-term view of what the market is saying, to catch moves in between the day. So that is why I use it. You can customize your own the way you want. For a moving average crossover strategy, you need a minimum of 2 moving averages. You can have 3. I use 3. So you can have 2 if you want, like I have before me. But I don't recommend you use more than 3. It's going to leave your chart looking, no, it's not advisable. But for the parameters, you can use any parameter that you want with a few notes. Number 1 is that there should be sufficient space between the 2 moving averages. For example, if I'm using 200, the next one should not be 150. The next one can be 50. Okay? So if you are using 30, for example, the other one can be 10 or 8. So there should be enough gap so that it is not too close and then you won't mistake the crossover for just the market doing its thing. So you can use any parameter that you want. You can use your EMA, you can use your SMA, you can use anything. So I'm using 250 for this analysis and I will be showing us how we can actually make things work. Okay? So the general rule is this. When the 50 moving average is crossing the 200 moving average, whether going up or down, then market is in a trend. For example, this is my 50 in my yellow and then this is my 200. When the 50 crosses up, there is an uptrend. Okay? When the 50 crosses down, there is a downtrend. So if there was a cross here, I would want to ride my trend up. If there was a cross here, I would want to ride my trend down. Now if I'm using something like this, since it's helping us ride the trend, moving average crossover is best for a long period, or if you want to take trade for a long period, not just 10 pips, 20 pips. If you want, maybe you should use moving averages like maybe 10 or 30. That one can work. But if you are using 250 like I do, you are using it to take massive position and ride massive trends. Alright? So that is the general principle. That is the general background principle, that when my 50, which is the least moving average of the two, crosses the other one up, I would want to I would want to buy. And then when it's crossing it down, I would want to sell. So that's the general approach to using the moving average crossover. Let us see. I'm going to backtest so that we can check data from time. Let me use my daily so that we can cover enough ground. Okay. So this is 2019. Let's start from say 2018. We still have time. So let's start from this back testing. Let's start from around here. Alright, so we are in 2016 now. Okay, so this is 2016. Let's check what the market is doing. This might take a while, but it's just so we could know. So this is the general idea. When the blue one, which is my 50 EMA, crosses my 200 up, I would want to buy. And then when it crosses it down, I would want to sell. So let's put that at the back of our mind as we backtest and see what the result is. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. Right, I pressed the wrong thing. Let's go back again. And so 2016. Okay, it was around here. Alright, so let me reiterate my point. When the 50 crosses up, we are going to buy, and then when this crosses down, we are going to sell. So alright, let's just follow and see what the moving average is going to do. Remember I said it's for trendy markets, okay? So until you see something like that, you don't want to join the market. If you want to trade moving average crossover strategy, if that is your intention, you won't want to just jump into the market anyhow. So as you can see, my 200 moving average is doing something. At this point, it stopped price from going further up. That is why I have 200. So that is still telling me that although the 50 is still spiking and is moving in any direction it chooses, my 200 is still doing a very good job. But as you can see, it's moving very close to the 50. Okay, it's actually getting very close. Now at this point, someone might be thinking that the market has broken through and I want to go up, but there is no crossover yet. Alright, you can use any other strategy. If it confirms going up, fine. But if you are choosing crossover strategy, you'd want to wait for this man here to cross over the other guy there. So as you can see, price just came down and there is a crossover. So at this point, what I would want to do now is I would want to buy. Okay, I want to buy here. That price will keep going up into the foreseeable future, and I want to place my stop loss somewhere here because this is the lowest point. This is the lowest low before the actual crossover. So I want to place my stop loss around here. Now, this is one thing you should be careful of too. You don't want to, if there's a crossover because of an impulsive move, you should not want to join the move because your stop loss is going to be placed at a very far place and your risk to reward ratio is going to be very low. Okay, so I'd want to have it somewhere around here. Remember, this is for someone that wants to trade a long position. This is why I'm using my 200. So let's keep going and see what happens eventually. So that's the crossover and it's going. Market is going up. Fantastic. So remember I entered here. Okay, so if I am to check how many pips I have in profit, I have, this is already 614 pips. Okay, I have 614 pips in profit on the, this is 6th of June. Okay, sorry, this is June, 21st of June to 2nd of August, 4th of August. So I have 614 pips and still counting. So remember the strategy of, okay, I move my stop loss, I can move my stop loss here. Okay, so let's keep going and see what happens. So I'm still going up. Now, the thing with moving average crossover is because you might be wondering, how do I take my profit? You can either have a specific profit target that after 100 pips I'm taking my profit, or you can take your profit at the next crossover. Remember, crossover is signaling that the trend is about to rise or to change direction. So if you don't want a fixed take profit, you can use when there is another crossover to take your profit. So let us examine how many pips we took in profit so far. So we were able to take 790 pips in profit before market decided to start coming back down. Okay, but has it started coming down yet? Alright, so can we go up again and see where we've gotten to? So this is now 147 pips in profit. Alright, so I made the mistake again. So that is the idea of the moving average crossover. You wait for a crossover of the 50 and the 200, a significant crossover, when it is not in a ranging market. Alright, if you want to be sure of whether it's ranging or not, there are different indicators that we use for ranging, whether the market is ranging or not. So I made a mistake with that one. Let's see if we can identify another. It's actually not that far, actually. Okay, so this is where we entered, remember, and market went all the way and got to this point. Okay, so market went all the way and got to this point, 1,422 pips. Now that's not something you take on an average day. Remember, we bought on the 21st of June, and we would have taken our profit on 19th of February. So this is more of a position trading thing, or yes. So if you are a position trader, I can even teach you to be a position trader. But if you are a day trader, you just have to reduce the parameters. You don't need to use 200 or like I did. So you can take your fixed profit of, let's say, 100 pips here, or you can just wait until there is a crossover and you use your trailing stop, or you manually move your stop loss. So our stop loss was here at first. Let's say at this point we moved our stop loss here. Okay, so when price came down, it would have hit our stop loss and would have been taken out. But let's say there is enough space and we are lucky. Let's say we brought our stop loss to this point. That means it would have taken us out here. Okay, now the second approach is to wait for a crossover. Like I said, that means we would have been stopped out here because this is another significant crossover. So our profit would just be from here to this place. Now that's the disadvantage of waiting for another crossover, because the crossover is signaling the end of the trend and the start of a new one. So we would have to forgo all the profit that we took from this place to this place. Now, like we did, let's backtest again and see where this second crossover will lead us and what it is going to teach us to. So this is another significant crossover. Okay, let it cross very well. Alright, so there was a crossover here. Okay, I shifted it too fast. It was while this one was forming. So I would want to enter the trade here. Okay, and then I want to put my stop loss here. Remember, the last leg of the last low or high in this case of the previous structure that we have. So this is where my entry price is, this is where my stop loss would be. And then moving very fast, you can see it has already gone back to my entry price, but it hasn't gotten to my stop loss. Okay, so this is why you should put enough space between your stop loss and your entry price. So it already got to my entry price, but has not gotten to where my stop loss is, and it's still dancing around near my entry price. Okay, so there is another another crossover is looking like it's forming here. Let's see what happens. Okay, it didn't form. Alright, so market is coming down in my favor. So that's the general idea for the moving average crossover. You can decide to take your profit as you want. You can either trail it or use manual shifting and all like that, whichever way you want to put it. So market will keep going down until there is another significant crossover between the two. Remember, we are trading a ranging market and not a trendy market. So my 50 EMA is doing the job of support and resistance at that point, and then my 200 will just send price down if price is trying to move near it. So I have a feeling I should just forward everything, and so we'll see how it looks like. So if we are to keep this on, so remember, you can either decide to take partial profit if you want to take partial profit, or you can use trailing stop, whichever one you want to. Fixed stop, trailing stop, partial manual profit, you can decide to use any one that you want to use. So let me just go back and see what happened with this. Okay, so it continued. So we took our trade here originally. This was the crossover where we took our trade. We entered at this point. So let me check how many pips we had in profit. So this is where another crossover took place. If you want, you can either put your stop loss here and say, okay, there's another crossover, that means market is not coming back in my direction, or you could have taken it up until this point, and when there is a pullback, it would have hit your stop loss. Either way, you would have made your profit. So we entered here. Okay, so this was about 850 pips thereabout. Let's just say 800 pips, and it took us, this is 8th of August, this is to February, and that's quite much. So this is more of a position trading thing if you want to make the best use of it, if you want to get the best out of it. So that is how to use it. Let's use my own trading account for an example. Okay, so this is this. If you want to use medium term something, so this is why I said it is not best for a ranging market. Look at this place. My 200 EMA, my 200 moving average is not showing anything. It's just gliding through the price as if nothing is happening. So there was a slight cross. There was a cross around here. You would want to go up. What is the market saying? And then there was another one around here. But if you are someone that prefers short-term profit, say 10 pips, you could have taken something out of this. There was another cross here. This should be about 50 pips too. You could have taken something out of it. And there was another cross here that went up. And then this is another cross at this point. Okay, there's another cross at this point, and then another cross. Market has been choppy like that. Okay, so it's not looking like it wants to do something significant. So let me place a trade to show an example to illustrate. Let me choose another pair. Let me make a live trade example. Sorry, not a live trade example this time, but let me show you how I would have placed my trade if I had the opportunity to do this. So okay, first off, I should, like I did with that one, my moving average, I should set it. Okay, so I have my 50 and my 200. Okay, since they are all together, let's just make 50, 50, 200, and okay. Right, so is this looking, I think Mozilla is looking a bit clogged up compared to Chrome. So let's go back to Chrome. Alright, so a live trade example. Alright, so I can choose from any pair. Say, let me search for JPY anything. Okay, let's use JPY odd. Okay, this should be a good example. So this is JPY odd. So the way I would trade it if I was given the opportunity to trade it, that is what I want to do, or that is the example I want to do. So back test, let's back test up until this point where there was a cross. Okay, there was a cross at this point. Now remember, I want to, okay, back testing again. Okay, sorry. want to be able to capture it very well, so I would get a better approach to it. So price is going, and there was a crossover. Now this type is too risky for me to take because my stop loss is supposed to be somewhere around here, the lowest point. Now the distance between this point and this point is about 99 pips. Okay, so if your risk to reward ratio allows you to do this, you can take it. But for someone like me, this is too high. I would rather wait for price to come back down so I can join the market. So, and if price does not come back down, okay, see, so price has come back down to an extent, and then this is okay, this is back to 69 pips, which is something that it is still manageable. Okay, so you can join it at that point, or you see price came down again until, so you can wait for it to touch that moving average if you want, or you can just join it at that point. So that would have reduced your risk compared to your reward ratio. So that is how I would join it, and then I would trade the market until you are satisfied, or until it takes out your stop loss, whichever one you are comfortable with. But you must be content with the fact that markets will keep going up and going down. So at one point you would think you've made serious profit, at another point you won't understand what is going on. It's going to look as though you've made crazy loss. You need to be confident in your analysis and the fact that price will still keep going in your favor. So it might look like you are losing all the profit you've ever made, but don't worry, it is going to go in your favor nonetheless. So this is because we are using the daily time frame. I think that is another thing that I should try to balance. So let's come down to the 4-hour time frame so that we can get a better approach. Okay, so there was a crossover at this point. I think a lot of people will be able to relate with this. So you can do it at your time frame or the time frame you use for your analysis. There was another crossover at this point. Okay, so for this one I would want to enter it here. I would place my stop loss. Remember, the stop loss is going to be around here. Okay, because there is, it tried breaking here, and it didn't enter. So this is where I would want to put my stop loss if I enter the trade, and then I would want to enter my price here. So if you have to compare, now this is where it started entering from. Say I entered my trade here. Okay, remember, you don't join the first candle that is going, you wait for the next one to form. So this is 131 pips. Alright, and it's still going down. It came down until you got here. So this is 161 pips. This doesn't look too much, but you should be satisfied with this unless you are greedy yourself. So we took this trade on the 20th of May, and this is September. That's 4 months. That's 162 pips in 4 months. If you use serious load size, then that should be enough profit for you. But if your account cannot take serious load size, so that's one of the advantages or disadvantage of the crossover trading too. Although it allows you to capture trend, the trend might not be worth your while at the end of the day. So for that kind of time frame, another pair can give you about 2,000 pips, but you can always decide how much the pair is going to give you for the trend. Okay, this is another example. Okay, so the crossover occurred here and it was able to trade up until this point. So if you have to check the number of profit from where the crossover initially occurred at this point. Okay, so this was about 322 pips, and this happened in January, and it got here March, so just about 2 months. So you can't always determine how much you would get, but it's actually a nice strategy that you can go with. So that's how to do your crossover trading strategy, and I would like each person to do their own. But before I sign off, there was something I forgot to add when I was teaching how to draw support and resistance. I've been adding it in my videos, but I feel the need to add it again here. Your support and resistance, like I said, is not a line, it's a zone. Don't make the mistake of trying to draw a line for your support and resistance. If you are using your mobile phone, then it won't be easy, but it it is best you use your support and resistance as a zone, okay, not as a line. Don't use your line and support and resistance. For example, here you don't know if you should place it here or there, okay. So I felt the need to just add this part. Say it was here at first, okay. Alright, so this is a zone. All these places, they are zones that should actually, so instead you can come here and use your rectangular tool and you take it from here to here, okay. It depends on how many pips or how many inches you want it to measure. So when price crosses this, you know that price is crossing down. When price is not able to cross, so you can extend it like this, okay. So ultimately, alright, I think this is very effective. So you would think price has broken through here, but this is still within the zone, okay. So this is still within the zone of support of my resistance. I wouldn't want to buy here until I see a breakthrough to this point, and through to it came back down. So I felt the need to add that your support and resistance is not a line, it is more of a zone. Please pay attention to that. So that is all about the crossover trading strategy. I hope you find it interesting going forward and putting it on your trade. We still have about 4 minutes. Should I? Alright, so that's all about the crossover trading strategy. You can check your app too and see there was another crossover here. Remember, 50 crosses the 200. Depending on which one you are using, the lesser one crosses the bigger one, but make sure there is enough space between the less and the big so that you make it worth your while. So this is 143 pips. This occurred in May. This is June. That's 1 month. Come on, 100 and something pips in 1 month. Depending on your lot size, that could be a lot, and you don't need to risk so much to get it or rack your head. You just need to focus on one thing, and that is one of the things I say too. You don't need to know all the strategies in this world. You don't need to know all the indicators in this world. All you need to do is pay attention to the ones that are important, and then you won't have a problem with it. So for this one, you have to do is know your moving average, okay. We've done a lot about that. Know how to set the parameters and know your support and resistance. That's all. So my zone is going to be around here. I want to enter the market after the crossover. There was a significant pullback, so I can put it here. Say if it breaks this low, and I would have gone through this place. How much will I risk? Okay, let's quickly do the risk to reward ratio so we would understand how important it can be. So we are going short. Okay, so it's just here, and this will have been to this point. So this is 3.45. Imagine that is enough risk to reward ratio that you should be satisfied with, unless you agree to yourself. So you are not risking so much, and you are risking enough that you are comfortable with. So you are just risking 25 pips. Come on, 27 pips. For someone like me that prefers to risk 50 pips, for example, I would put my stop loss around here. So the chances of it touching my stop loss will be very, very, very slim. So no matter if it's going like this, I know that the market is changing the style. So that is how easy it is to use the moving average crossover strategy. Thank you very much. Join us for the next video and go have fun. This video was actually quite fun, as you can see. Signing out.